Hello and welcome to a special edition of Up to Speed. I'm Diana Alvear and I want to give you an update on Hurricane Ida and how our network is preparing. Currently, Ida is churning in the Gulf Coast and is a Category 4 storm. That is a very large storm. She could strengthen up to a Category 5 before she makes landfall sometime tonight around Grand Isle, Louisiana, either late tonight or in the early hours of the morning. We wanted to give you a network update, so let's go to Chris Regal right now. He's a network field engineer and he's just outside of New Orleans. So Chris, thank you so much for speaking with us today. And first, tell me a little bit about what you're experiencing right now, the conditions, and how you're preparing.
Well, right now, we're north of New Orleans, about 40 miles. The wind has started to pick up. We've gotten a little bit of rain. However, it's not as bad as you would think during a hurricane. But before a hurricane hits, there usually is kind of a lull that brings people into this feeling of, oh, this is not going to be that bad. But it's going to get bad very quickly. And so right now, it's a little bit of a lull. We're going to get some feeder bands coming in, and it's going to start getting heavy rain and a lot of winds in just a little bit.
Chris, I'm glad to know there's a little bit of a lull right now, but it's clear that you're surrounded by a lot of different assets. Can you tell me a little bit about how the teams there are planning to deploy them and why you're standing where you're standing?
Yes, we have a variety of assets at our disposal, and what they are here for is whenever we have an outage at a cell site, we can deploy something like a colt right here or a cow or a calf. These are specialty items that we can provide a mobile or a temporary cell site in case a cell tower goes down, or maybe we lose the equipment at the site due to flooding or wind damage. So these are mobile assets that we can, on a dime, just start deploying, get crews out there, and get it up and running so that our customers will have service. We also have a fleet of generators so that when we have power outages, which is the main outage that we're going to see during a hurricane, we're going to be able to deploy these mobile assets. They're portable generators that can give our cell site the power it needs to get back online and provide our service to our customers.
That's great. And Chris, I know that, you and I both remember Katrina. I covered it early in my career as a journalist, and you were actually with Verizon at the time. Can you tell me, there was so much devastation when Katrina came ashore. How have things changed, especially when it comes to our technology, that maybe we're in a little bit of a better position now?
Sure, yes. Yeah, Katrina was devastating. I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. We had a lot of challenges with Katrina to work through. We had never seen anything like that or worked through anything. And so through learning best practices of how we handled that hurricane, we today are better equipped to handle such a storm because after that, we learned that even though there are areas that don't normally flood, can flood. And so we've raised all the cell sites that are in those areas to be, 10 to 20 feet up in the air so that when the water comes in, they're not going to get flooded out. We also have multiple options for backhaul to keep our cell sites connected. And so that we're not relying on just, one service provider that their whole office might get flooded and go down, and then we have a massive outage in that area. We have learned from Katrina, and I think today we are definitely better equipped to handle it.
How soon after Ida comes ashore do you think you'll start to deploy these assets and get into the places that have had the most damage?
Well, safety is the biggest priority. And so once the hurricane has passed and the winds start dying down, then we'll go ahead and start dispatching personnel. So right now, our emergency operations center is in effect. And so we have people monitoring the weather. We have people monitoring the network. And so they're going to make that determination for the field personnel for when we can start going out there and getting our service back up to the 100% that we always like it to be.
And I know we always talk about how we run to a crisis, and that includes you, Chris. You're so close to this right now. So how are you taking steps to protect yourself and perhaps your own technology? And what can we learn from you?
Well, I am staying at my house here in the Covington area. So we are going to ride out the storm, and I'm going to be available as soon as the storm passes. And so, to protect your technology, there's going to be a lot of water. Keep your phones dry. That seems like a no-brainer, but a lot of people will be standing out in the rain, using their phones, and it might not be the best idea. I also keep Ziploc bags so that even if I'm, not going to be using my phone, or if I'm just going to be storing it, I'll have it in a Ziploc bag and put that in my pocket, because I'm out here in the rain working, and my pockets are going to get wet, and my phone, if it goes down, well, that's going to be a problem. So that's the number one thing. Just keep your equipment dry.
Well, Chris, we can't thank you enough for walking us through how the network is preparing and how you are preparing. And of course, we know you're going to be riding out this storm. Ida is a monster. So everyone out there, please take care. Chris, thank you so much. And we're also thinking of our viewers right now. If anything changes, if there's anything important that you need to know, of course, we will keep you updated. Until next time, you're up to speed.